So, Laurie, tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all. What brings you into this kind of sphere of social media and law enforcement?
Well, sure. Well, first of all, let me say thank you and congratulations to Joanne on the release of her book. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, as you can see. I have it here behind me, and I just think it's fantastic, and I can't wait to get my signed hard copy in the mail. But as far as myself, what brings me in the world of law enforcement, golly, it goes back a ways, actually. I was a reporter years ago, and I did a lot of general assignment reporting, and in my 20s, it just always really struck me that, you know, first responders just never were very good at telling their own stories, and they weren't often given the opportunity to, like I thought they should be. And so I dabbled at trying to help them then, but that was like the dark ages way back then before social media. And so when social media came along, I thought, well, maybe, you know, now's the time that I should go back and do what, you know, what I tried to do back then and help. In this case, I stuck with law enforcement because I had to pick one of them and focus on it. And I was working with the police department in Nebraska at the time, and I got them into Facebook and then eventually Twitter. We wrote a policy, that was at least 2008, that we wrote a social media policy for police, and I couldn't find any policies anywhere for police. So that's kind of how I got started, and then I started blogging. And when I started blogging, that was the summer of 2009. It kind of just pulled me along, and I was getting, my phone started ringing, and to the point where by mid 2010 I quit that job and you know, my day job there, and now I'm doing this full time.
Fantastic. And you have Joanne's book there behind you, I see, as well. So tell us, what are your, I suppose, what are your impressions of the book and what it can give to law enforcement?
Oh, I'm so excited to see this book. It is covers all the bases. I haven't read it cover to cover myself yet, I have to admit, but I've skimmed it pretty thoroughly, and I can tell you she covers everything that's really essential. You know, policy and social media monitoring tools. I was delighted to see, you know, that she's really got all of the fundamentals in this book. And so I hope every law enforcement agency will pick it up across the planet. I mean, it's not just for Ireland or the UK. I'm really hoping that we can get it even agencies over here to take a look at it, because I think that if anybody's still lost about this stuff, and a lot of people are, especially, you know, the I don't want to say older, but the people my age who are in the command level, sometimes they still don't really understand what this is all about. And if they read this book, then I think the lights should go on.
Yeah, some agencies and some people might think that it might be good to have that divide between them and the public. What's your stance on it? Because obviously, social media, you need no divide between you and the public. So how do you get around that?
Well, I think that if those that think like that, I think it's really a shame, honestly, because there was a study done, it's back in 2012 now, and it was done in Europe, 5 countries in Europe, and it was done by Accenture. Everybody's heard of Accenture. The 5 countries, people in the 5 countries that they surveyed, 88% of them said they want to help their police prevent and solve crime. And so if you want to have that divide, fine, you won't get that 88%. If you want to engage that 88% or as close to it as you possibly can, you ask any police officer right now, anybody who's in charge of the communications role, how many of the people, or any chief, how many of your citizens do you think work with you and support you, and if you put out a plea for some information, would really pay attention to it? And they'll usually say between 5 and 10%. Well, if you do this right and you're proactive and you're strategic, you can get closer to that 88%. And I ask these chiefs, say your population's 100,000 people. Can you imagine if the next time you have a bad guy you're looking for, 88,000 people were willing to help you find him? That's really powerful. And so if they want to keep separation from them and the public, then they're never going to get there. And so I think that's the key. Obviously, there's things that still need to be police protected, but when it comes to engaging the community, social media is where it's at, and it's so powerful. So, you know, and police departments' ranks are being cut all across the globe. It isn't just here in the U.S. I'm sure it's happening there. Absolutely. And so social media can make you more efficient. I mean, there's so many cases. You've seen them. I've seen them. Yeah. Police are looking for somebody, and they post this picture on Facebook, and 2 hours later, somebody in the public says, "Here he is." They didn't have to do anything but post a picture in Facebook, and that's how you start to have those realizations that, oh, okay, I'm doing more with less here.
Absolutely fantastic. Lauri Stevens, law enforcement expert in social media, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and congratulations, Joanne.